There is a silent battle each one of us is fighting every single day. Not with money, not with success, not with relationships, but one invisible question: am I enough? Am I successful enough? Beautiful enough? Smart enough? Loved enough? Even after achievements, promotions, followers, awards, appreciation, relationship, the question still remains. Because external validation, friends, is like drinking salt water. The more you consume, the thirstier you become. Welcome to Zen Hustle, still on the inside, unstoppable on the outside, episode number 4, from MI to I am. A young student once went to his teacher and asked, Master, am I making any progress? The teacher just looked at the student and smiled and said nothing. The next day, the student again went to the teacher and asked, Master, how much progress have I made? The master just looked at the student, smiled, and said nothing. Again, third time, the student went to the teacher and asked, Master, do people respect me now? The master looked at the student, smiled, and the master quickly picked up a bucket full of water, placed it in front of the student, and told the student to look into the water. Then the master shook the bucket, and the vision distorted instantly. The master said, when your mind asks, who am I in their eyes, your inner water never stays still. And disturbed water can never reflect the truth. Friends, isn't this exactly what happens in our life? One compliment, we feel confident. One criticism, we collapse. One ignored message, our mood changes. One comparison, and our peace disappears. Our identity becomes dependent on reactions. And slowly, life turns into one giant question mark. Am I okay? Am I enough? Am I accepted? So today, let's step out of the am I loop. And validation is one of the most socially acceptable addiction because everyone does it, nobody notices it. It hides behind normal behavior, checking who saw your status, changing our opinions to avoid rejection, calling 5 people before taking any decision, posting something online, and checking your phone after every 10 minutes. The dangerous part is, friends, it does not look toxic, but slowly your emotional control leave your hands. Imagine giving strangers the password to your emotional bank account. One criticism, peace gone. One unfollow, peace gone. One awkward interaction, overthinking begins. And eventually, you stop living authentically and you start living strategically. Not what feels true, but what will be appreciated. And that is where, friends, self abandonment quietly begins. Most of us did not learn self worth, we all learned performance. Good grades is praise, being obedient is approval, achievement is love, and sacrifice is praiseworthy. Especially, friends, many women are conditioned to become emotionally convenient. Don't speak or laugh loudly. Be agreeable. Be approachable. Don't say no too much. And after years of conditioning, many adults don't even know what they want because for them, life becomes a performance, a role, a survival mechanism. And eventually, people become so good at pleasing others that they lose connection with themselves. Earlier, validations used to come from family and society. Now it comes from strangers, likes, views, comments, followers. A post performs badly, mood changes. Someone else succeeds, comparison starts. Even healing has become performative, friends. Who performs meditation more? Who is more spiritual? Who journals more? Who looks more evolved? And the dangerous part is people are not experiencing life. They are actually curating it, documenting it, editing it, and packaging it for approval. And slowly, the inner self is disappearing behind the online self. So maybe the real question is, who are you when nobody is watching? The dangerous part about validation addiction is it disconnects you from your inner compass. You start asking what feels true to me and start questioning what others would like. That's how people start living borrowed life. Careers chosen for applause, relationships chosen for acceptance, and personalities created for survival. And one day they wake up exhausted, not because life is hard, but because pretending is hard. There is a different kind of tiredness that comes from constantly editing yourself just to feel acceptable. And sometimes that exhaustion is actually your soul saying, I miss you. So when I stepped into tarot, mindset coaching, and conscious work, not everyone understood it. Some questioned it, some judged it, some even said, what is she even doing? And honestly, there were moments when I questioned myself too. Whenever you choose a path different from the society, you temporarily lose external validation. In that phase, you feel lonely. But, friends, I realized something very powerful. If I kept waiting for universal approval, I would never begin. Maybe you are also waiting for something, waiting to start something, waiting to heal, waiting to get approval from your friends and family, waiting to change career, waiting to become visible. But life does not work that way. Growth begins when your inner voice becomes louder than the outer noise. That is why exactly ReManaa was born, not from uncertainty, but from courage. So, whenever you feel confused, ask yourself these questions. If nobody praised me, would I still enjoy this? If nobody noticed, would this still matter? Then write this down. Whose validation am I chasing? Parents, partners, friends, colleagues, society, name your invisible audience. Because once you start seeing it clearly, its power over you reduces. Awareness is always the beginning of freedom. Most people spend their entire life standing in front of an invisible mirror asking this question: am I enough? Am I right? Am I successful? Am I happy? And mirrors never answer. Mirrors just reflect, do not validate. So people keep changing themselves, thinking that one day the mirror will say, yes, now you are enough. But that day never comes. Why? Because the question itself is broken. Healing begins when you stop asking life a question and start making a declaration. Not am I enough, but I am enough. Not am I ready, but I am becoming. Not am I accepted, but I accept myself. Your identity this way stops becoming a question mark and becomes a full stop. The world teaches us to build an image, but friends, Zen teaches us to build a presence. Image needs maintenance, presence needs honesty. And maybe that's the real journey, friends. Not becoming someone impressive, but becoming someone real. This is me, Shilpa Govekar, signing off from the fourth episode of Zen Asal. Still on the inside, unstoppable on the outside. If this episode resonated with you, do like, share, and subscribe. And if you feel free, do write to us so that we understand what are your thoughts about it. Till the next time, see ya.